Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I took a washboard and turned it into a shelf. Okay, so here's the washboard. I'm showing you the back side of it there. And now the first thing that I wanted to do was measure the inside part here so that I can add my shelf. And I see that it is 11 inches. So I got a board and I cut it down, as you can see, to 11 inches. And this way it will fit directly down in between those legs there. Now, what I want to do before I add the shelf onto the washboard is add some screw hooks onto the shelf so that I can also hang things down from the shelf. So what I'm doing is measuring in 3 inches, and I just take my pen and mark where the 3 inches is. Then I'm going to turn my tape measure over, and I'm going to line it up with the first mark that I made so that both of the hooks will be in the same position but on either end. So then once I got my marks made, then I'm just going to take my screw hooks and I am going to screw them in. I just keep screwing and screwing, and this wood is really hard, so it took me a minute and I ended up getting my drill out. But while we're sitting here watching me attempt to get this in, let me tell you about the What Would You Make challenge that is for December. As always, the hosts of the What Would You Make challenge are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Christine from DeVyne DeZynz. This month's guest host is Loli G's Creations. Okay, now let's get back into the video. So here I am still trying to screw that in, and then I decide I am just going to have to get me a pilot hole started. So I go and get my drill. Okay, so now I'm just using a little drill bit, and I'm not going to go real far in because the shaft on the hooks aren't that long, so I don't really need to drill too deep. So I'm just going to, like I said, just get me a little hole started so that way I can screw these hooks in. And this went so much easier. I should have done that to start with, but this wood was really hard, and normally I don't have trouble screwing in the hooks. So I didn't think I would with this either, but like I said, I found out that it was really hard. So I get the first hook screwed in, and then I am going to go ahead and screw in the second one. I'm going to just zip right on through this, get that done. Okay, now you can see both my hooks are in there. My shelf is completed for now. And now the next thing I want to do is glue my shelf to my washboard. I have already made marks on the inside, and I'm going to show you here in a minute how I did all this to get that in there. First, I put my board in, and then I'm going to take a level, and I will show you that here in just a minute. Okay, so now I've got my level. You see I have my shelf on there, and whenever I originally done this, I didn't have trouble with the shelf falling. But anyway, just done like that and made sure the bubble was in the middle, and that's how I knew where to put my marks so that I would know where to set my shelf. Okay, so then once I've showed you that, now I'm going to put not hot glue yet. I'm going to do wood glue and hot glue though, but I'm going to put the wood glue on first, and I want to make sure that I put it on so that my hooks are facing the right direction. That's what I was doing there. So I'm just going to put the wood glue on each end, and then I'm also going to put hot glue on so that way it will give it that fast hold, and it will hold it while I'm working on it in the meantime until the the wood glue dries. So I'm just make sure I have it lined up with my marks that I have made on there, and push it down because I want it to be flat against the bottom. So I'm pushing it down to make sure that it meets the table just the same as the washboard is. I decided not to paint my shelf or my washboard. I just wanted to leave it the natural look that was already on it. Okay, now I want to have these magnets, and these magnets came with a chalkboard magnetic thing that I had that I ended up doing something completely different with, and so I didn't need the magnets for it. So I decided I was going to use the magnets for this. And I have some wood buttons, and I also have some little clothespins. I wish I had had like old-fashioned clothespins, but I wasn't able to come across any before making this video. So I just decided to go ahead and use these little clothespins that I got from Dollar Tree. And these buttons are just wood buttons that I cut off of some kind of clothing. I'm not even sure what it was at this point, but I'm just using hot glue to attach the wood buttons and the little clothespins to these magnets. You could use just a piece of magnet if you want to, but since I already had these little magnets, I just decided to use those. But like And you can turn these clothespins however you want it. I thought about for a minute turning it the other way so I could like use the clothespin as a clip, but I thought, well, no, I liked how the clothespin looked on its side better. And also the magnet will be used to hold something on, and I won't really need the clothespin to actually clip something with. Although that is something that you could do. If you wanted to, you could even just like maybe glue the clothespin to the washboard. I don't know, just however you want to do yours, but this is how I decided to do mine. And I could eventually, if I ended up with some of the old-fashioned clothespins, because this is hot glue, it shouldn't be real hard for me to get it off of there. I could just heat it up with my hair dryer and be able to pull it right off. Okay, so now I have those done, and then I'm going to get my washboard back up here, and then I'm going to put my little magnets on and show you how it looks with those magnets on there. I guess I'm going to scoot it over. I don't know why. Oh, okay. I know why I turned it over now. I'm going to put my hanger on there, and I have this jute twine, and it has these little green leaves on it, and I thought this would be perfect to use to make my hanger. I didn't want to put a permanent hangers on there. I was trying to think of something I could do that would be more decorative, and so this is what I came up with. So I'm just taking this jute twine. I got this from Temu. It was very inexpensive. I have used it on several projects. It was a big, long piece of it, and like I said, I've used lots of it, and I still have a good bit left, but I really like it, and I think that they might have some different types, so I may look into that. So I'm just using my staple gun to staple my hanger on here, and then once I get it there, then I'm going to pull it up into like the triangle shape, like how it's going to look when it's hanging, and put some staples, and then I'm going to go back through and crisscross the staples. So I want to make like an X pattern on that. I think that that just helps keep the staples from pulling out better, especially if they're hanging down. And I moved this down because I wasn't sure if I was in frame or not, but I think I'm getting a hang of this new camera, so I guess I was okay with that. So now I have that, and of course I want to use some more of that twine, and I'll show you what I do with that here in a minute. Okay, so I get it laid back up there, and now I'm going to add my little magnets on there. I think these are really cute. I like them. I'm glad I decided to do that. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm trying to decide what do I want to do with it and where all I want to put the jute twine on there. And I didn't want to do, too much. I just wanted to add like a little accent. So I'm going to put some across the front of the shelf on the side and across the front. So I use my staple gun to hold it on the side, and then I take some hot glue and just put a bead right down the front of it, and then put the jute right across that. And then on the other side, I'm going to measure out how much I need. I'm going to cut it off, and then I'm going to use my staple gun to hold it. And it just so happened the way this twine with the leaves and everything are on there, you don't really see this staple real noticeable. I mean, if you're like really looking at it, you're going to see it, but it's just hanging there. It's not really noticeable. Okay, so then I have it there, and then I'm going to try out different places to decide where I want it, but I do want it across the top here, like that. So I do it the same way that I done the shelf. I just staple it on the end, and then I'm going to use hot glue across the front of the top part there to hold the jute rope or twine with the leaves on it. The leaves are made like out of like a silky like ribbon kind of thing. I got it originally to use at Easter time. It was a real nice addition to quite a few of my Easter projects. So I'm just going to cut that off, and then once again use my staple gun to hold it into place on the side. And then I decide that's all I want to do. I don't want to add too much. I think that this was just enough. Okay, so now I'm going to get it hung up and give you that final reveal. Okay, that's all for this video. Don't forget to check out Rustic and Lace DIY, DeVyne DeZynz, and Loli Creations. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.